Alright, today I got some fresh chicken thighs that I soaked in a brine for a couple days in the refrigerator. And you soak them in water, sugar and salt, and garlic salt and some other natural seasonings. And I just did a light brine, I didn't put too much in there. And sometimes your chicken dries out when you put it on the grill, and it'll get too dry if you don't do that. So when you soak it in the brine, what it does is it locks in the moisture, and it keeps your chicken from drying out on the grill. And then I got some packaged broccoli, and I'm gonna roast it in the oven in a cast iron skillet for about 35 to 40 minutes on about 425 degrees. And I just do a light coat of olive oil on that. I'm not doing too much with the seasonings tonight. It's supposed to be a light, natural dish, so I'm just gonna lightly salt it, just a little bit. And then I'm gonna use a little bit of pepper. And the reason I'm oven roasting it instead of, most people steam it or they'll saute it in a pan, but I like to oven roast it in a cast iron skillet, because what it does is it gets a nice roast on the bottom and on the top, and it still has that crunch if you don't overcook it, unlike if you cook it on the stove top or if you steam it. And it's 2 cups water for every 1 cup of brown rice. Brown rice takes a lot longer than white rice. It's going to take about 45-50 minutes. You just want to lightly salt it in here. I usually taste it after it's done to see if it needs any more seasoning, and I'll salt it after it's done boiling. And the thing about brown rice is once you put the lid on, you don't want to take it off, because it'll mess up how it steams out in the pan. Put that on low and let it simmer out, and it'll be done in about 45-50 minutes. And these are just your basic chicken thighs from the local store. Nothing fancy. Probably cost you maybe $6 or $7 for a package, maybe $3 or $4. Like I said, I'm not going heavy on I cook for my family, and they don't really like, it to be too heavy on the seasons. They like it when it's light and simple, and when it's just cooked thoroughly. So I put a light coat of olive oil on there, make sure that's on there, and I'm going to throw them on the grill over a fire. So what you got to be careful about when you put olive oil on is when you put it on the fire, that olive oil will catch on fire and it'll flame up. So you want to make sure that your fire is right when you do it. But if you get it right, it'll cook it. It'll give it that nice crust on the outside that you want without burning it or overcooking it. And I'm going simple on the seasonings tonight. I got some natural, I did a natural brine on it. So what I want to do is I want to add to that, and I want to do some natural seasonings. And just a side note, when I'm cooking, I always like to have everything cleaned off and neat and everything disinfected, because when you go to messing around with, especially with chicken and poultry, you want to make sure that everything's clean and that you handle it properly, because you can get sick, especially if you got kids around. You don't want them up here messing around and then touching their eyes and face. And of course, I got the scented candle lit up with some warm apple pie scent. It's like Mama cooks it. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this chicken on the grill. And the broccoli's been in for about 40 minutes. You pull it out. It's got got a good crust on it. It's gonna be crunchy and not too overdone. And there it is, grilled chicken thigh over brown rice and roasted broccoli. You can make this whole meal here for under $10. Thanks for tuning in.